Hello, everyone. It's me, Jenna Ryan, your self-love life coach. I am here today to bring you a message that regarding a question that I get asked often in my coaching practice. People ask me a lot, how did you get the healing that you have? How did you get where you are today? And I just decided to go ahead and talk to you about this. How do you get the healing from bad relationships? And my answer to that is you have to work on yourself. Okay. You may think that the problem is in the relationship, is the fact that you're really pining over someone who you think is so wonderful, that you're wishing that you had someone back that has left you high and dry. You may think that that is the problem. The problem is that the other person doesn't love you anymore and you feel worthless. Or maybe you said something wrong and you feel a lot of shame for what you said. But the fact of the matter is that if you're having trouble in relationships, it has to do with something inside of you, because you are imprinted, according to Bowlby, who is a child development psychologist who, he is the origins of all this child development psychology. He says that you have an imprint within yourself for relationships that's created in the early stages of life. So if you're experiencing negative relationships, it's not because you're bad. It's not because the other person is bad. It is because you do not realize who you are. You don't realize your worth. And therefore, you must work on yourself. You must do the work. You must do the hard work of healing, of figuring out who you are and what you're worth on this planet. And you have to find a way to reach those deep parts of yourself that thinks that you are not worth loving properly, that would put up with negative behavior from your spouse or your significant other or friends. You've got to find that place inside and go and rescue your own self, kind of like, Indiana Jones. You have to go to the abyss and figure out what is going on within your soul and integrate those parts that are left back in, your childhood. You have your inner child that needs to be rescued, and you're the only one who can rescue yourself. And how do you do the work? How do you do the work? Well, you start by watching this video that you're watching right here, because I'm helping you to open your eyes, to open your awareness, and to encourage you to do work on yourself, to not be satisfied with the status quo, to don't just go to, online dating channels that tell you, be a high worth person. You can't just be a high worth person. You have to know that you're a high worth person. And that's what your quest is to figure out exactly who you are, which is fabulous, by the way. But you won't ever find that out if you don't take the time to do the work on yourself that it takes. Along my healing journey, I did a ton of work. Part of the work required, hours and hours and hours of journaling. I had to do a ton of self-reflection. I had to spend time with therapists. I had to spend, if I had a problem, I would go and solve it. If I have a problem today, I'm not all perfect. Sometimes I have issues and I have to go and deal with them. And I have people that I can rely on to help me through the dark spots in life. You need to line up your support system. And that's what you do. If it costs money, so many people are like, to me, there's no amount of money that is worth my well-being, my health, my well-being inside. I value happiness and joy and peace and self-love over my money. So to me, it's nothing to spend money to pay a therapist, a qualified therapist. That's nothing. It's nothing for me to take time to go and talk to someone, knowing that building bonds and building healthy attachments with a therapist who's empathetic and knows what he or she is doing, knowing that that is worth all the money in the world, because that's going to help me and heal me. Same with you. You've got to find someone to go talk to. You've got to figure out, hey, why the heck am I continuing these patterns? Why are these patterns showing up in my life? Why am I always wanting someone that's rejecting me? What is the deal here? What's going on? what part of myself does, because do you understand, if you're in pain, that means that there's a part of you that is not understanding the truth. Because if something is true, it doesn't hurt. But if you're hurting about something, that means you're believing some sort of lie. Or, in a general sense, when we're talking about self-reflection, if something that you think about yourself hurts, that means it's a lie. It means you're hurting yourself with those thoughts. So there's all kinds of things you can do to work on yourself, but every day you need to take time out of your schedule to work on yourself. For me, I treated it like a part-time job. I had to recover from a lot of stuff, and I had to really take the time out of my life to work on myself and learn that I am valuable, that I'm worthy, that I'm somebody, and and to learn how to relate was a very difficult pathway for me. But I came out of it. I came out of codependency, and I was able to integrate all of this information. And now I'm able to help other people, which is even a greater experience, to be able to help others to get unhooked from their negative core beliefs and their negative patterns and relationships, which is what I do on my life coaching, selfloveyou.net. But that's not the point. The point is, I'm trying to encourage you guys to find your support system, to find people that are supportive and empathetic, but also you find your books. You find your books and you find your information, even on Instagram. You can find your information that heals your heart for that moment. I believe that the question is there. The answer is there waiting for you to ask the question. I wrote that quote. The answer is there waiting for you to ask the question. So you must constantly ask the question of yourself and constantly untangle the different aspects of your negative patterns or negative thoughts. Constantly get out of the quagmires. Constantly heal from generational bullcrap that's passed on from our forefathers. We have a lot of reconciliation to do. And the good thing is there is a ton of resources available to you. There's a ton of YouTube videos. There's a ton of people who are aware and awake and conscious and who have healed and reconciled their own crap so that they can be a guiding light and help you to work on yourself. So no, it's not your fault that you're going through this rough time right now with, relationships. That's usually the people who watch my Self Love You, not always, but a lot of times. It's not your fault. You are who you are because of what you've gone through. And so you've just got to be kind to yourself every day, to release yourself every day, to give yourself a break every day. Journal every day. Find people to help you along your healing path and your healing journey every day. Squeeze all the good out of life that you can get, because life is beautiful and there's joy on the other side of this pain. People come into my coaching program and they're like, how, I'm right in the middle of all of this pain and I just cannot imagine being on the other side of this. And I'm just here to tell you that there is another side. And on the other side of dealing with a lot of emotional pain from negative relationships is just this beautiful freedom. But you're never finished. You're never finished growing. You're never finished working on yourself. You have to continue to work on yourself forever. And it's awesome because you keep growing and growing and learning more and more about yourself. So don't ever stop working on yourself. Even if you get off track and you get involved in a relationship that's bad, just start. Don't worry. You have not gone back to zero. Start over, go no contact, and get yourself back in order and be thankful for the good times and be glad that now that you know better, you can do better. Don't beat yourself up. Don't call everybody and tell them what a fool you are. This is not a time to beat yourself up. This is a time to build yourself up, to begin to use positive affirmations, to journal some of this negative self-talk, and really start to reparent yourself and to remind yourself how great you are. Sometimes we have to go to other people. Sometimes we have to get a little help. When the student is ready, the teacher will appear. So when you're each along the journey, when you're ready, you'll meet a new teacher, you'll meet a new person, or maybe it's an old person that you go back to, or maybe it's just a bum on a street who actually brings a message from heaven on accident. I mean, you will get your messages everywhere if you are ready to be healed and you are ready to live your full life that you deserve. You will find it. You will find your way. I believe in you and you believe in you, and keep working on yourself. Stay on path. Don't let yourself go off on a little tangent, off to la la land, fantasy land. But if you do, forgive yourself and get right back on track of personal healing and personal development, because you deserve to feel amazing and you deserve to have wonderful relationship with yourself, with others, and with the world. Okay? So I'm Jenna Ryan. Until next time, I will talk to you soon.